Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Yay. Today the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Stay fabulous, bigger, better, and blessed. If you're new here today, my name is Yay, and my evangelism is flexible. I'm a chosen vessel of the Most High God Himself. Today we're going to be talking about Ezekiel 47:4, followed with 1 Kings 10:10. Also 10:10 on the clock, okay? And Hebrew text is completion, perfect order, and God's authority. Okay? So 1 Kings 10:10, which talks about the Queen of Sheba admires Solomon's wisdom. So today's reading, we're going to be based on the circle of life. Everything is connected, okay? People are connected. The trees are connected. You know, everything that God has made is connected with God. What you put out in this world, if you bless those who bless you, okay, God will curse those who curse you. So bloodlines are real, spiritual warfare is real, okay, jealousy, envious is real. God make the heavens and the earth. He created us to be unique in our very own way. Okay? So God is saying that it's important to obey God's commandments and know them. He set these commandments out not to condemn us, not to for us to be scared of the commandments, you know, but the commandments are for us to guide us, okay, the right way, to respect God, to respect Elohim, okay? So obey God's commands and everything will always go well with you if you obey that. Do not envy the wicked, okay, because they have false security. They rely on worldly things, they rely on money, they are selfish, they are too Timothy, okay, lovers of money, you know, they don't care about other people in this world. Selfishness in your family, okay, in the workplace. You know who these people are, and you know that when you're unequally yoked with these people, you just need to let them do what they want to do. Okay, let them think whatever that they think that they have. Okay, but we, as children of God, we don't have to do much labors because God's hand and God's favor is over our lives no matter what. That's where jealousy comes from. Okay, that's where all these issues of life come from because they can see that you don't have to do as much as they do it. Okay, you don't have to do A, B, and C and try to be liked all the time. It comes naturally to you because God has chosen you for that task. All right. So it's important for healing, it's important for forgiving other people. Okay. And that's why it teaches you in the Bible that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. We wrestle against principalities and rulers of dark places, at high places. Okay. Because once you pass away, these spirits are still here. They're just joyriding in other people's bodies. That's why when we are saved and washed clean by the word, okay, the word, there was a word, there is a word, and the word was God, okay? When we are washed clean every day by his word, because we has set a time apart for our day for him, okay? So we're going to be reading Ezekiel 47:4. We're going to be also reading Matthew 19:17, which is Jesus and the rich young man and the question that the rich man had. Okay, so it describes the progression of a vision where a guide measuring a line leads the prophet Ezekiel through waters that increase in depth, moving from ankle deep to knee deep. It's impassable, symbolizing God's life giving spiritual presence and the restoration power that transform barrenness into abundance of life. The progression after measuring 1,000 watts of 1,500 feet, Ezekiel is led through water that reaches his knees. Further measurement along another 1,000 cubits are measured, and the water becomes deep enough to reach his waist, the growing depth. This sequence continues, indicating that the water's increasing depths and the power as it flows from the temple. God's presence and blessings. Okay? The river originating from the temple symbolizes God's life giving presence and the spiritual renewal he brings with it. So, you ever hear a saying about the latter rain? God will rain blessings on you, okay? When you have his commandments, when you keep him, and when you keep him close to you, your heart, when you go out and when you come in, when you know that God is your protector, when you know that God will provide for you, when you know that God removed that to set you apart for a different destiny, okay? When you know that is something is missing, to fill that void, you go to God, not with drinking, not with smoking, not with partying, not with excess people around you. You go to God in your secret place and you pray to him and you talk to him and you tell him your best. You tell him what's going on. He is your best friend. When you like this, when you tight with God, you can tell him anything. Okay? This is your best friend for life. Not these worldly people here, not man. Okay? Listen, his words, when God has captured your heart, there is no leaving. God only looks at your heart. God only wants your heart. He does not care about what you have or what you look like or what your status is. He is no respecter of persons. Okay? He looks at the heart posture and he knows when someone is doubting. He knows when someone is not believing. He knows when someone has malice and envious and jealousy in their heart towards their kin, towards their brother and sister, towards their mother and father, okay? Towards your aunt and uncle, okay? God checks the heart posture of who we are around, okay? Are you willing to surrender this? Are you willing to tell me this and this? Sit there and let me take care of you. God is the one who will take care of you. God is the one who will never leave you. For the word said, for where two or three are gathered in my name, I am in the midst of thee. Okay? So when you both of y'all is praying, when three is praying amongst in a group, praying for the same prayer, praying over each other, okay? God is in the midst of thee. He will hear you. He will answer you. Your prayers have already been answered. Okay? But you're having to willing to give up the things of this world to follow him. Because he said, carry that cross each and every day. Crucify your flesh each and every day. Listen, so the healing and transformation, the waters turning barren areas into fertile grounds, the spiritual life as the rivers deepens and moves towards the Dead Sea. It brings life to everything it touches, symbolizing the life-giving power of God's Spirit and God's salvation. We're going to be reading Matthew 19:17, which says, and he said unto him, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep thy commandments. God is saying, obey God, believe and obey him. What he says, do what he says. Okay? Don't be afraid of looking at the past and moving from it. These people are only here for a season. These people are only here for some people are only here for to destroy you. Their assignment or is to destroy you. That's why you need to use discernment of what and who is in the midst of you. Who are you confining in when you should be confining in God? Okay? Who are you talking to about your daily life problems, and then they go ahead and tell the next person? God would never do that. God would never betray you. What you tell God is confidential. He's your best friend. Okay? So do not worry about the wicked, for they have false security. Okay? The kingdom of God, everything should be added on to you when you seek ye first the kingdom of God. Let God order your steps, okay? The restoration. The entire vision serves as a powerful metaphor for the restoration of God's people and his kingdom, bringing life and fruitfulness where it is barren, where it is desolate, where it is empty. So God is bringing you fruit because you have been fruitful to him. Okay?